HuffPost story by Brittany Wong. There's a name for the sadness and guilt Latinos feel while watching ice raids. In a city as Latino as Los Angeles, approximately 48.6% of the region is Hispanic or Latino. You don't have to look too far to find someone who's been affected by the ongoing ice raids throughout the area. I know someone whose grandma's church parking lot was used as a staging ground to detain immigrants. Others I know who have documented status say they've had heavy hearts all week, fully aware that they're only 1 or 2 generations removed from being considered quote-unquote illegal by the Trump administration. They've inherited a certain amount of comfort through the legal status attained by their parents and grandparents. But the people on the news don't look different at all from their tios or primas. And of course, Latino communities are not the only immigrant groups being targeted. There are Black, Asian, Middle Eastern, and Pacific Islanders immigrants also under threat, but noticeably no white. Whatever your ethnicity or legal status, it's impossible not to feel shaken by footage of field workers being snatched on the job by federal agents or hear about 12-year-olds being detained outside their elementary schools. Unless you're Native, all of us can trace our history back to an immigrant who was searching for a better life in America. Jennifer Leon Salinas, a trauma-focused family therapist in Los Angeles, California, said she's been anxious all week, as have many of her clients. As a therapist, undocumented immigrant, and a DACA recipient, it has been devastating, dehumanizing, enraging, fear-inducing, and exhausting to constantly witness and experience these raids, she told HuffPost. As the raids continue to dominate the news, Leon Salinas said it's important to name the anxiety, guilt, and uncertainty people are experiencing. It's called collective trauma. According to the American Psychological Association, collective trauma refers to traumas rooted in oppression or discrimination toward a minority group by a dominant group, in contrast to interpersonal trauma. By calling it what it is and validating the fear and uncertainty, we can resist the pressure of normalcy. This act of business as usual, develop external and internal resources, and build community rather than being isolated, dismissed, or shut down, the therapist said. We asked Leon Salinas and another therapist who works with Latino communities to share their best self-advice for these stressful times. Let yourself feel all your feelings in safe, supportive spaces. Many of us were taught to stay strong, to keep going, to push through, and that resilience has helped our families survive so much, said Alejandro Sandoval, a marriage and family therapist. That strength is real and powerful, but healing also means giving yourself permission to feel what's happening. Anxiety, grief, rage, these are normal responses to abnormal situations. Those feelings don't make you weak, they make you human. You can be both resilient and tender, Sandoval told HuffPost. Finding spaces where you can safely express those emotions with a trusted friend, therapist, faith leader, or within your community, even online, allows you to release what you've been carrying. You don't have to do it alone. Emotional safety is not a luxury, it's part of survival too. Leon Salinas notes that there are therapy directories like Latinx Therapy, Inclusive Therapists, and Open Path Collective to find a therapist that best resonates with you. Educate yourself on your rights and then pass it on to the community. Regardless of immigration status, don't forget that you still have rights, encroached on as they may be under the current administration. Learning those rights sends a message, quote, I belong here, I have a voice, I will not be silenced or erased, Leon Salinas said. Understanding our constitutional rights empowers us to stand with dignity, make informed decisions, and protect ourselves with fear-induced tactics by the government, she said. When we share that knowledge with others in our communities, we help build collective strength and resilience. On social media and in neighborhoods, people have shared these printable pocket-sized Know Your Rights red cards with information in multiple languages explaining how to handle encounters with federal immigration authorities. Recognize when you're in survival mode. Many immigrants, and even those just witnessing what's happening, are living in a constant state of survival mode, Sandoval said, meaning as you read these jarring headlines and watch the news, your nervous system is on high alert, scanning for danger. As a result, he said, you may feel anxious, tense, numb, or emotionally drained. These are natural responses to ongoing stress and fear. Simply noticing these signals without judgment can be the first step towards finding steadiness in a time that feels anything but steady, Sandoval said. Ask yourself, what does my body need right now? Rest, stillness, support? Your body is not the enemy, it's trying to protect you. Protecting yourself could also mean taking some time away from watching the news or doom scrolling. Of course, it's important to stay informed, but be aware when your body is feeling overwhelmed or distressed and take a break. Practice this surprisingly easy grounding technique. Trauma pulls us out of the present and into panic or shutdown. Grounding helps bring you back, Sandoval said. One simple tool is the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. Name 5 things you see, 4 you can touch, 3 you hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you taste. Or place a hand over your heart and breathe slowly, saying, Estoy aquí, estoy a salvo. I am here, I am safe. Sandoval said, these practices help regulate the nervous system and gently remind your body that it's no longer in immediate danger. Make some time to practice acts of joy and nurturance. Too often, the world reduces us to our labor, Leon Salinas said. It scales us down to what we can produce with our minds and bodies when we're so much more than that. That's why making a concerted effort to protect and lean into our joy is a radical act of self-preservation and power, especially during trying times like this, the therapist said. Our joy reminds us that we are more than our suffering and that we can reclaim our story, she said. It allows us to challenge the systems of oppression by using our bodies to laugh, sing, dance, and storytelling throughout generations to come. In difficult times, it also might help to remember generations of the past and what they endured and survived. When it feels hard to pause or feel, we can remember our strength didn't start with us, it's ancestral, Sandoval said. It lives in us even now. And I just wanted to share that because when I first read it, it was touching to me and it resonated with me. And I feel like I've been under stress myself, just knowing what's going on out there. And I had to kind of put the phone down for a minute. And it was a good thing. I did like a few things related to social media, and I feel better now. And I just encourage everybody else to, if you can, just kind of take a break from the news and social media. If you, just take a minor break, but you can still keep yourself updated, as the article stated, because it's not healthy to be consuming too much of this and then all the hate you're seeing every day on social media. So everybody stay safe, and I'm praying for you.